told us a lot of time, but we have been getting doubts from our to be juniors, the aspirants.
Right.
So, like,
Yeah.
is the IPM course overall tough for the students who haven't had maths before or are not from non-maths background and all?
Okay. Okay. So this is a difficult question, right? So see, I mean, when you say it's tough, yes, it's tough for students who are not from non-math background, and I think that toughness, if I'm not wrong, you can make out from the level of the examination, the entrance examination which you give, right? Because it has good load of mathematics there, right? So your question that it's difficult, yeah, it's difficult. But if you ask me, is it doable? I would say that it's doable. It's not impossible, but it's not a cakewalk, right? So you have to be prepared to do a good amount of mathematics, statistics, and other subjects which involve equal amount of at least solving numericals, right? In IPM, because I mean, you have, of course, IT, which requires algorithms and coding. You have maths and stats, which are there in first 2 years. You have economics, which again requires numericals and so on. So you cannot do without maths or stats or IT, because they are the fundamental. They are one of the most important pillars of IPM. So it's difficult, I would say, but I think it's not impossible.
It's a follow-up to this, like the maths, the rigorous maths that we study in the basically the first 2 years of IPM. Does it make us on par with the PGP that we have, the PGP mathematics?
Okay, so again, I think I have talked about this earlier also. So it's not only about mathematics, okay? So it's about how the first 3 years are made in IPM, or how the curriculum is designed. So all subjects of IPM, whether you have math, stats, or IT, or any other science or arts, they work towards preparing an IPM student who is an individual with knowledge of various fields. And how does it help them? It helps them to sit and contribute in a PGP class. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what their background was 3 years back, because when you talk about a PGP student, he can be from commerce, he can be from science, he can be from arts, he can be from anywhere. But the idea is that when you are preparing them for first 3 years, right? So you are making them into an individual who will have an academic maturity as an individual, irrespective of quant or qual or whatever social science or dance you talk about. He becomes an individual who is ready to handle problems because he has already handled a lot of problems, right? So he is mature enough to sit in a class and contribute and do well, right? Because if you are talking about the PGP students and you are trying to compare the math which they have studied in IPM with the math which they have studied in PGP, you have learned much more math than they would have learned, because we have students in PGP who are engineers, and engineers do not learn so much of math which we do with the rigor with which we learn, whether it be IT or whether it be any other subject. So when you are in a uncomfortable position or a new position all these 3 years, learning a new subject every time, you have become an individual who can fight and sit in a class and perform equally well in CP and in exams, whatever it may be. Of course, it depends on student to student, but IPM will make you an overall individual, which will cover the syllabus, which will cover, or not exactly the syllabus, which will cover the specs of being a BA student, or being a art student, or being a psychology student, or being an economic student. So you had learning a lot of things, right? So you will be able to contribute because of the maturity which you have gained over all the 3 years, because of the exposures which you have all the 3 years. If you ask me if the directly that math will help them in PGP or not, may not be a direct application, because you may not end up doing integration. But if you talk about differentiation, yeah. If you talk about stats, yeah. Integration may come in other courses which are electives, maybe data science, or maybe when you are doing some concepts of economics. So we are learning more. So we are, because the curriculum is much more in depth as compared to any other undergrad program which is concentrating on these subjects we have.
The next one is a question that I also personally have. Like, what is the use that we have it, or what is the importance of calculus for management? In management, how do we
Okay.
use it and all?
Okay, so calculus is a very, very important branch of quantitative. Of course, it's a branch of quantitative techniques, in particular mathematics. But it's a very, very important branch which will keep appearing in any real life problem you take, because the calculus or the differential equation is gives you a model, gives you a mathematical model, which is through which you can model lot of important phenomena. For example, right from fundamental aspects of demand and supply, or if you want to predict stock prices, if you want to model how do conveyor belts move, or if you want to model crowd dynamics, if you want to model traffic flow, if you want to design a room so that there is no congestion. So everything which you can think of will have can be can be modeled by calculus. So calculus, behind any complicated, let's say, mathematical model, or a model which is designing your business problem, there will be a rate of change involved, because you are studying the rate of change of physical quantities, or the your rate of change of the price of a pen, or the price of a stock, or whatever. So when you talk about rate of change, as long as you are talking about rate of change and instantaneous rate of change, you are going back to what is called derivative, right? You are going back to differentiation. So all business problems, or many business problems, are all about learning how the changes are occurring, what is the rate of the change, because that will help you to study how this quantity is going to change over time, or it will help you to study the prediction of how many people are going to cross through this channel, or how much clogging is going to be there in a channel, right? So everything is driven by mathematical models. They can be differential equation models, they can be partial differential equation models, but the basic fundamental pillar is calculus, right? And if you talk about something like as data analytics or machine learning, or big data analytics, where you want to design new algorithms, there are three important fundamental pillars. You have mathematics. From mathematics, you have calculus and linear algebra. From you have statistics, you have probability, and you have coding, right? So all the world is running behind machine learning, behind data analytics. And what is the underlying pillar? The underlying pillar, one of the major underlying pillars, are quantitative techniques. Maybe it's mathematics or statistics. So it's going to keep coming. You cannot avoid it if you want to do business. Okay. So now it depends on you. I mean, as a business person, whether you are handling the problem in a position where you have to design algorithms to study this rate of change, or whether you have to make presentations in business to in your office room. But whatever you do, you have to understand at least that how the things are changing, what is the rate of change, and that is calculus, right? Yeah.
So moving on, like
Hmm.
you have been associated with IPM for the past 6 years. So and you've mentored a lot of students during that time. So how do
Hmm.
you think that a student evolves over the course of IPM?
Yeah, so I think the IPM students over the years, they have been doing really well for themselves. I mean, of course, when you are there are good placements. I mean, okay, there are students who are getting placed well, and I think we have toppers from PGP who are who are from IPM, and I think they are in at least the first 15 to 25 positions. They do exceptionally well in the class. Apart from that, we have various students who are gone ahead and have started pursuing PhDs. They have not taken the business route as such, the normal business route which you would take to become a manager, but they are doing PhDs abroad. Some people have made it to ISI, institutes like ISI, Indian Statistical Institute, to pursue higher studies in quantitative subjects. There are students who have who have published papers. They have published research papers. We have students who go abroad and have made presentations, and through their CIS they have been able to convert them into research papers. They have turned out to be very good academicians, and I think they have students have been doing really well.
So, ma'am, that as you mentioned that a lot of students go to PhD and all. So, kind of a follow-up question, like, what are the views on the research development option that we get after the third year or in the third
So
year?
I think yeah, so I think there is, you have CIS during the third year. So there, I think you are allowed to work under various professors on, if they agree, you can collaborate with them and work under their mentorship or guidance, right? So of course you can do this without being associated under a prof, under the official statement of CIS. You can do a reading course or without getting a certificate kind of I mean without getting a credit for that. So I think CIS is a very good option, and the students, some of the students who have been doing CIS, as I told, they have gone to MIT to present their work. They have been able to publish as in their research in reputed journals. So I think CIS has taken a good shape, and it's a very good opportunity for students to see that how academics, to get a good taste of academic research. And I think it helps them to solve problems in using whatever they have learned in the first 3 years of IPM. So I think when we talk about IPM bringing academic maturity in the students, so when the students end up doing well, for example in CIS, right, so it shows that whatever we have been trying to inculcate in them, the maturity, they actually they have actually have been able to achieve it. So yeah, so I think CIS is a good option, and students really benefit from it.
Well, thank you, ma'am.